Welcome back to another Average Joe News Co. Today we'll be covering a story about a photographer from National Geographic who has officially documented his 18,000th animal species, as well as an 150 million year old dinosaur that appears to have walked with a limp, because that is also a news story. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's go.
Our first story today, a National Geographic photographer named Joel Sartore has photographed 18,000 animal species through his long-running photo art conservation project. His milestone species is the critically endangered red handfish, a tiny fish found only in small areas of Tasmania, Australia. The fish is exceptionally strange looking and uses its modified fins like little hands to walk along the seafloor rather than actually swimming. Scientists estimate that fewer than 250 red handfish remain in the wild, which has prompted captive breeding efforts to try to prevent their extinction. Sartori's larger goal is to use striking photographs of obscure and endangered animals to raise awareness and encourage conservation before species disappear. Congrats to this guy. 18,000 is borderline obsessive territory, but very impressive to find all of these different creatures across the globe. The red handfish looks pretty chill, to be honest. He is really giving me early punk rock vibes. Kind of looks like he has a mohawk.
No way. That is so punk rock.
Very bad name, though. It's just one of those ones where it seems like some guy stumbled upon this and just gave it the absolute most literal and uncreative name that they could possibly think of.
That's a made-up name. What's your real name?
Ladis.
Lades what?
Ladis washroom.
My question is, how many of this guy's 18,000 species that he's photographed were bugs and fish? It's got to be like 15,000 of 18,000, right? Do you think this guy is secretly kind of pissed off that he's now left to chase these incredibly obscure endangered animals? I think probably not. I think this guy I think this is his thing, that he really just likes chasing these weird ones. I imagine a conversation with his wife probably goes something like this. Sorry, we can't go to Hawaii for a beach vacation this year. We actually have to go to Western Sahara to look for the endangered African dung beetle or something of that sort. In all seriousness, congrats to Joel. This is a good cause. You did a very good job, and you picked a good fish to hit the milestone with. Kitty. Hey, baby girl. What you doing? Hey, sweetie. Yeah. Hi. You have anything to say? You got anything to say? Cutie. Moving on to our second story, scientists have analyzed more than 130 fossilized footprints left about 150 million years ago by a giant sauropod in what is now Colorado. The footprints formed an unusual 95.5 meter loop, with the dinosaur making a complete turn before continuing in roughly the same direction. Researchers used drone photography and high-resolution 3D modeling to reconstruct the entire trackway and study the dinosaur's movements in detail. The dinosaur's left and right steps consistently differed by about 10 centimeters, 4 inches, suggesting it may have been limping or favoring one side. Scientists can't determine whether an injury actually caused the uneven gait, but the discovery shows that long stretches of footprints can reveal dinosaur behavior and movement that fossilized bones can't. What in the actual hell is this research?
What the hell is even that?
Sometimes, as a man of vibes and not science, I just question how anyone takes this kind of thing seriously, and more importantly, how is money being funneled to these types of research projects? I understand the research is broader than was the dinosaur the original pimp limper. How is this news? I guess maybe because I clicked on it and read it, and now I'm talking about it, so
Maybe it's my fault.
For reference, giant sauropods were 98 feet long on average and 40 to 65 feet tall, but we're considering a 4-inch difference in step length as a limp. What are we even doing here? Maybe this dinosaur didn't stretch properly when he woke up in the morning that day and went on his morning walk. I don't know, man. Someone smarter than me can probably tell you why these types of research projects exist, but I certainly can't.
One particle of unobtainium has a nuclear reaction with a flux capacitor. Carry the two, changing its atomic isotoner into a radioactive spider. Fuck you, science!
All right, moving on to sports. We're going to continue with our NFL standings predictions. We're going to move on to the AFC North today. I have an unpopular one for this. I actually have the Bengals winning the AFC North this year with approximately 11 wins. I think the keys to that are Joe Burrow needs to stay healthy. They have one of the easiest schedules this year, and every offensive lineman is returning after a season where that unit improved. I think they could surprise some people this year. They have a lot of talent. I think they're underestimated, and I think they could sneak a division win. Moving on to the Baltimore Ravens, I'm predicting them at 9 to 10 wins, which is slightly under their 11.5 win expected total. We all know that Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are a great tandem. Their defensive line has been improved with the signing of Trey Hendrickson. I am questioning him coming off of a season-ending hip injury early in the year last year. I could be wrong, but I have this team as a wild card. I think that they've shown that they've been inconsistent in the regular season in the past. I think they'll be in the playoffs and they'll compete, but I just don't see them being as dominant as a lot of people are predicting them to be this year. Moving on to the Steelers, I have them at 6 or 7 wins. That's below their 8.5 win total expected. I really do not like the Aaron Rodgers, Mike McCarthy combo. Their pass rush is great. Their run defense is not. I don't think that they're as versatile on offense as it may seem. I could really see this getting ugly fast, especially if they start to lose early. I just really don't think that Rodgers is going to, as we've seen, have a good attitude through a lot of adversity. But I really don't think the Steelers are going to be even as good as their mediocre expectations are this year. Moving on to the basement, we have the Cleveland Browns. I'm expecting 5 wins this year. Listen, they have a very good defensive line. They have really good cornerbacks, a good defense overall, but I just think this offense is not high powered. The quarterback competition right now between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, probably going to be Deshaun Watson. He hasn't played in years. Their wide receivers were very inconsistent last year, were one of the worst units in terms of drops. I just do not see them winning more than a couple of games. I think their defense will carry them to a couple of them where they'll keep it low scoring and the offense will do just enough. That's not going to be enough to get them anything higher than the middle of the division. I could see Cleveland actually coming in 3rd and the Steelers coming in 4th. That would be crazy, but that's what I'm thinking. Moving on to weather, today's Would You Rather Natural Disaster Edition is volcano versus blizzard. I think this is an obvious one. I think we're going to take blizzard. Volcano seems a lot more destructive. It's scary. I think of Mount St. Helens and sort of like the rivers of lava that came when Mount St. Helens blew its top.
Bro, pause, bro.
I don't think we think of blizzards as being as scary. I will say the one thing is an extremely long blizzard I think would be frightening. If you weren't well prepared, you couldn't really navigate very well. With a volcano, at least there's some hope that you could, drive away, evacuate. I feel like if you're in a massive blizzard and you don't get ahead of it, it's going to be really, really hard to drive the roads. Unless you've got a snowmobile handy, you're in trouble. So I'm picking blizzard. I'm hoping that I have a doomsday prepper kind of setup shelter going on in my house, in a big pantry in the basement or something like that. I don't think it's as easy as I'm making it sound, but I don't know. The thought of a volcano exploding and, raining down on me doesn't seem like a choice that I really want to make. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. That was an episode of Average Joe News Co. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one. Play the music.
Pop in, burning like this, ain't checking my wrist. Third is my shift. Rolling all night like flicks. We look at the clips, these credits are lit. Stacking miles, I'm far away from home. I got what I wished for. Taking that risk, I'm checking my list.